Hey guys, welcome to Bearded Brad Barbecue. Today we're going to be turning this into this. Let's do it. Alright, first thing you're going to want to do when you're cooking a rack of baby back ribs is I like to flip it over and you got a little bit of membrane on the back side here. Now if you just take a paper towel, you can grab up this membrane and it will pull right off of there. Now, you don't have to do this. There's nothing bad about the membrane. You can eat the membrane. If you've ever had a rack of ribs and then had like some crispiness going on the bottom, that's where they left that membrane on. I like to pull that off so when you season the backside, you get more of the seasoning on the meat, and I think it just makes for a better bite. All right, now that we got that off of there, we're gonna go ahead and season it up. Now I made my own seasoning here. It's about 1 part salt, 1 part pepper, probably roughly half a part garlic powder, a little bit of cayenne, some paprika, some onion powder. So I got all that mixed up here. And like I mentioned, we are gonna season both sides. So we're gonna lightly season the bottom side here, making sure you cover all the edges. You wanna make sure you get a nice, good bark on these ribs. Sometimes I will use a binder, but today I'm not. These ribs have been sitting out sweating just a minute, so it should stick pretty good. Flip her on over there. Go ahead and season the top side as well. Now of course you can use whatever seasoning you want. This is just the one I prefer. I like making it myself. As you make your seasoning, you can kind of taste it along the way. See if it's going to be too salty, too spicy. Get it just the way you like. Alright, now that we got it seasoned up there, we're going to let it sit for about 30 minutes. That's going to let it sweat, help all this seasoning soak into the meat there. We're going to go get the grill started. Alright, we're going to get this pellet grill fired up here. What we're going to do first is open the lid. God, I got to clean that thing. Just going to hit this power button. And we're just going to set it on the smoke setting to begin with. Let it get fired up. I like to run the smoke setting for about the first hour. On a pellet grill, that's going to allow you to get the most smoke out of it. And so I do that for about an hour so, get some smoke on the ribs. And then we're going to crank it up to about 250, let it ride. Should take about 4.5 hours for this rack of ribs. We're going to let this thing get fired up and throw it on the grill. So we got the Pit Boss pellet grill fired up, letting it come up at temperature. We are using the competition blend pellets today, and that's going to help us get the nice flavor on these ribs. That's the one I like the best, but you can use whatever style pellets you want to use. The competition is just the ones I like. A lot of people will use like an apple or a cherry when smoking pork, but today we're going to use the competition blend. Alright, now that the Pit Boss is up to 180 degrees on the smoke setting, we're going to go ahead and get these ribs in here. I'm going to take them off of this rack and put them on the top rack of the smoker. Close it down. So as mentioned, we are going to let these ribs go for about an hour on the smoke setting, help them get plenty of smoke. And then we're going to crank it up to about 250, let it ride. Should be about 4.5 hours total cook time. Not planning on wrapping these ribs today. We're just going to let it go unwrap the entire cook. If you want to see a video comparing wrapping versus the unwrap method, comment down below. I'll make that video as well. So we're going to wait around about an hour, crank that temp up, then we're going to let her ride till it's done. I'll catch y'all when it's time to eat. Alright guys, we are right around that 4.5 hour mark, and I think our ribs are just about ready. Look at those. Now what I like to do to check the ribs for doneness, just kind of pull on the ends a little bit. If you got some good flex in there, oh yeah, those babies are done. Let's go ahead and get these pulled off of here. Those are beautiful looking baby back ribs right there. We're gonna let them cool off for a minute, get back in the house, give them a taste. All right guys, what a beautiful looking rack of baby back ribs. Probably my favorite thing to cook. That's why I wanted to do this for the first video on the channel. These things look amazing. So So we ended up doing about 4.5 hours on these ribs. We did 1 hour at the smoke setting, which ran between 180 and 190 for that first hour. Then we bumped it up to 250, finished it off there. With ribs, I don't ever worry about checking the internal temp. Again, I just kind of do the flex test. If they kind of feel like they're getting close to falling apart, in my book, that is perfect. These aren't necessarily competition style ribs where you want them to hold together real good. I personally like it a little bit fall off the bone. This isn't going to be completely fall off the bone, but these are probably going to be a little more tender than your competition cook. But let's go ahead and get cutting into them. Alright guys, y'all tell me that right there doesn't look amazing. God, I can't wait to taste one of them. Alright, I think it's time to give these bad boys a taste. Let's go ahead and dig on in here. Look at that perfect rib. This is my favorite thing to cook. These are so dang delicious. It is super tender, but it's not like completely fall off the bone. You're not gonna get that like perfect little bite ring. You are gonna pull a little bit off with your bite. Again, a little more done than competition style, but for cooking at home, this is the way to do it right here. That's one mighty fine rib right there. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, shoot the video a thumbs up. Make sure you go down and subscribe to the channel. Gonna have a ton of content coming out about all kinds of different grilling and smoking. So if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you tuning into the video. Comment down below if you have any video ideas. If you want to see like the rack of ribs wrapped versus unwrapped, or any other thing you want to see grilling wise, comment down below. I'll make that video for you. I appreciate it guys. I'll catch y'all in the next one.